15 years after murdering his sister on Halloween night 1963, Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to the small town of Haddonfield, Illinois, to kill again. Boys, girls, etc., this week, say hello to my little film, Halloween.
Okay. Do you want to play with? Okay. No. Say hello to my little
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
I feel spooky.
It's that spooky time of year.
Oh.
We're right around the corner from the spookiest day of the year, Halloween.
That's right.
Amen.
And I would like to greet you and say hello.
Say Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was gonna say it.
And then Thanksgiving, the spookiest. If you're a turkey.
That's true.
Aw, sad.
Say hello to my little film is the podcast you're listening to right now.
When?
Welcome. Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's this one.
That's this one.
I
That's
thought you
the
were
one
listening to
that
another
you
one.
started. You press play on this one.
This
Yes.
is not going well.
Well,
This is a podcast that you chose.
Yeah, you picked it.
Yikes.
You don't.
scrap this one. I can't do this. Okay.
Don't walk out.
All right, well, I'm going to start over. Okay, here we go. Let's start it fresh.
Starty fresh.
Welcome to Say Hello to My Little Film.
Welcome.
This is the podcast where we watch the movies that you just got to see.
Hell yeah, Bo.
Whoa!
Already
The scariest
so
thing of all.
scary.
An American Southerner.
Get me out of the South.
That's all right, Bo.
I feel like we're on like one of those really annoying radio shows
Oh,
where
yeah.
they press all the buttons.
Might as well be going.
Well, who we got on the line today? We got the traffic's going up, and you're gonna turn up and take a left.
Whoa, tell me again.
Coming up next, we got the same thing.
After I clean your room. We basically have that shit going.
Okay, yeah. No, we're getting there.
However,
We'll figure it out.
Welcome to Say Hello to My Little Film. I'm done saying that. I am your host, Ryan, and I'm joined by my other host, Des,
Ariel,
and
Jesse.
and
Casey.
what up, peeps?
And-
Wow, we nailed that,
Sup?
actually.
maybe Michael
And
Myers.
we have our sound engineer, Gary.
Gary.
How's it going, Gary?
Stop it, Gary.
Get off the fucking mic,
Gary,
Gary.
put the mic away.
Obviously,
Cage, Gary.
I told
obviously
you,
an intern.
we should not have bought a fifth mic. I told you.
We should not have bought
So
Gary.
stupid.
Piece of fucking shit.
Fuck you, Gary. All right.
The dark web.
Sorry.
Never again.
So the podcast is growing. We're slowly, we're getting interns in here. It's good.
Yeah.
That's right.
Things
Yeah.
are going well for us.
groovy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things are going so well. We watched one of the most classic
Yeah.
horror movies for this spooky month that you
It
possibly
was,
can watch.
honestly was embarrassing that like we hadn't seen this movie yet.
I think
Yes.
this is a rare one that none of us had seen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Truth.
Fun.
Right?
Fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And this movie has a franchise that's enormous, still going today.
Annoyingly
It's
enormous.
massive.
I'm just kidding. It's not annoying to me.
And the movie we saw was Halloween.
Ooh.
Maybe a little on the nose.
A little,
That's
A
true.
little boop.
yeah, a little on the jack-o'-lantern nose. There.
That's right.
But I think it was appropriate.
It was very
Well,
appropriate.
it seems like it would be. Yeah,
It was
Seems
apropos.
like it.
Apropos.
yeah.
So we saw Halloween, the movie. Not any of the other versions of it. Halloween,
The
the
OG.
original version.
Oh, gee, this is what started it all.
We saw John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yeah.
This is what started Activia.
That's right. Wow, that is what
This
a
is what
pull.
started Freaky Friday.
Yes. Thanks for that. Directed by John Carpenter, and also he did the score of
Yeah.
the movie as well.
I
Yeah.
know he
Sick.
did the score because I've definitely looked up the song, just like
Yeah.
for spooky
What a score
other
he
spooky
did, by the
Halloween
way.
things.
yeah, he scored.
Fantastic.
I think my favorite part about it is that it will start up in the movie and sometimes it just stops.
Yeah. Bang, 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 bang.
Very like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
It's like when you're playing a video game and the battle music starts
Yeah.
Right.
and you're like, shit, I don't see the thing I'm supposed to fight yet, but you know that you're about to.
And then you turn around and leave that area, and the music stops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're away
Because
from
you're
the
away.
wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all obviously aware of the
We're a werewolf.
mass. We're aware of the wolves
We're werewolves, you could say.
Yeah, we're aware of Mike Myers
Yes.
of it
Right.
all. Which, by the way,
Austin Powers.
has always
Microphone
been-
Myers.
Because I've never been like a big fan of like this franchise, really. So,
Yep.
so it's always bugged the absolute shit out of me that his name is Mike Myers.
Yeah, that is annoying.
That's so irritating, right?
Yep.
Obviously, when the movie came out, though,
When was he born?
he wasn't famous, I don't think.
Yeah,
Like,
but
at
if
this
he was
time.
born after this movie, then his mom is an asshole.
I,
Let's look it up.
Gary.
Google. We're
Gary,
gonna
will you get on
Google.
that?
Gary,
will you bring
can
that
look up
shit
when
up?
Mike Myers was born?
Gary, will you bring that shit up, dude? Dude, put it up on the screen. Let me
All right,
see
so
it.
keep breathing and stalling. I'm having Gary look
Hey,
up.
Gary, man, that's fucking crazy, man. Pull the shit up, Gary. That's my Joe Rogan impression.
really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gary's feeding me information right now. Mike Myers was born in 1963.
Holy fuck!
That's really weird.
Which is-
That was the
Ironically,
best Perry scream.
When this movie takes place in the beginning.
yeah, that's where it starts.
Whoa,
That's creepy.
this just got spooky.
Spooky.
That is very. Dun, 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 dun.
That's spooky.
Yo, 4 people on a microphone is kind of wild sometimes.
Very spit. Oh.
Sometimes I'm like, no, that's not the way that I wanted everyone to be. But I have no control.
Yeah. Okay, give me the mic. So
So why this movie? Like, besides the obvious that it's a Halloween movie.
Yeah, this full disclosure, this was my pick.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just this is a banger. Like this
Seems
is
like it.
This is a big
Whole
At
franchise.
least as far as cultural impact, you're aware of it without even knowing about
Yeah.
it.
I mean, you've got Nightmare on Elm Street. You've got Friday the 13th. And you've got Halloween.
And you've got that weird friend of yours that comes as Michael Myers every Halloween party.
Thank
Yes.
you. And
shots fired.
is it really Michael Myers or is it like?
Well, this
A
person
friend.
did not remove their mask, so
Well, there you go. You
and he
were
killed my
Spider-Man.
mom.
Yeah.
killed my horror sister. So maybe.
Yeah. So it might have been the real one. Guys, let's talk numbers.
Yeah, let's,
Yeah, numbers.
These are interesting.
Give me the
these
facts.
are
And let's guess
straight
again. Let's guess on the
interesting.
budget
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
So, budget. What do you think, Ryan?
Ooh, so it actually came out in
78.
78. I'm gonna guess 10 million.
Okay.
I'm going to guess 4 million.
Okay.
Actually, a better guess.
I already know, so I won't partake.
Okay. Guys.
Wait, Jesse, what's your guess? I'm just kidding.
I will tell you my guess, and it's gonna, I guarantee, be correct.
Oh,
All
shit.
right.
Here is my guess: $300,000.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yes.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Wait
Super,
for it.
and that's what I thought was pretty crazy about it, because like he did the score and everything also. So I'm wondering if that helped cut
Yeah, he
down
was a
on the
cheap
budget,
ass. Yeah.
and
He didn't pay himself.
there wasn't a lot of like special effects. They obviously didn't pay the actors a lot. So the box office of this film.
All right, let's guess on that.
Okay, go ahead. 1978.
I have no idea what like the world was like back
It's
then.
hard to. Yeah, I thought your guess of 4 million was a good. Guess,
Yeah, but
actually,
I
for a
don't know.
budget.
78 money, 4 million. Is
I'm
probably
gonna guess 4 million.
Okay.
For box office. If that was.
I'm gonna guess 1 million. I don't.
Okay.
I
Yeah, she knows. $60 million, dude.
Shit!
Are you kidding?
What a fucking
So
monster!
300,000 budget, 60 million in the box office.
They were like, let's make another
Wow.
one.
yeah.
They were like, let's make 18 more. I'm pretty sure.
Clearly,
I
this
cannot
works.
believe that.
That's
I was in shock.
seems like it's got to have broken some records.
It probably has.
I mean, like still holding the record. That's insane.
Yeah. And also 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I just saw when I read the
audience
intro.
or critic?
Who knows? It's the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Okay.
It's just whatever the
No
score
specifics.
was.
I
on the
think,
tomato meter.
I think that's critics, right?
I think that's critics. And then the separate one is the audience score. Like the popcorn one is the audience score.
Well, that's the only one that matters. The
Oh.
audience score.
Well,
Yeah,
it was
true.
2%.
When Dave
No,
Chappelle,
I don't know.
when Dave Chappelle's special got a 0%.
Right. They're like, did anybody even watch this thing? Yeah. Wow. Like,
That's amazing.
yeah.
That's really cool.
That's $60 million in the 70s.
Yeah.
Do you think it was because there wasn't that much horror back then? Like
think
what was
so.
going on?
That's probably
It was one of the first slasher films beyond
Well,
Psycho.
That was a big thing while we were watching it, was being like, what a cliche. And then you kind of have to go,
Nope.
wait,
this
they're
is
Not at
started-
all,
They're
yeah.
pioneering
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So that's a lens though you have to kind of take into account
Right.
while you're reviewing, because we're
It's
talking
really
about watching
hard
it for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Do you
hard.
need to watch it now?
We'll see.
So we'll see.
Stay tuned to the end to find out.
Don't hit that skip.
Don't skip.
15 seconds. I see you.
Bitch ass.
All right. Let's let's crack it open.
Is this
Yes.
the most
Fucking
iconic
carve it open.
theme song for a movie ever?
Yes.
No,
It was sick.
Jaws is more iconic.
Oh, you're
But
totally
that's
right.
that's not a theme song. That's like the
That was
Oh, no,
made
wait,
for
wait.
I
Jaws,
feel like
though.
you're
This isn't a
splitting.
theme song
I feel
either.
like you're
Hold on.
splitting hairs.
It is because it's playing during the beginning.
No.
The theme of the movie. Dun, dun,
So
dun.
what is the Jaws?
That's just when the character is around. The character of Jaw.
The character of the shark.
No.
The character of Jaw.
I think you're incorrect on this.
Yeah.
I think
We'll take a poll.
we will not take a
So anyway,
It definitely is iconic. It's actually not iconic. It's echoic.
that's what I've learned just right now.
real flashback.
Those are different things.
Yeah.
If you
It-
tune
it-
into
it-
our, I don't know, third ever episode,
I don't know.
I think that's when maybe fourth, whatever, way back in the day.
In order for something to be iconic, it requires an image.
Right.
That's
So if
something-
it is an audio medium,
But let it be known that you're
Face.
a super douchebag if you ever say
Yeah.
if you ever say that's echoic.
yeah, we're getting.
Yeah.
I think
Actually, that's iconic.
I'm actually feeling that right now from across the table.
Yeah, yeah.
It's wafting.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a stink that is hard to get rid of.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis's first movie.
Yeah.
She
Wow.
In
by
the
the way,
in the intro, it says introducing Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, cool.
So that is like her first thing. What?
yeah. that's
Can
weird.
you imagine? I mean, isn't it normally your first movie like kind of a shitbag?
The first movie I was in.
And then this movie is like a huge success. That
Yeah.
like she could have just stopped working. Because
Probably.
actresses and actors are paid based on percentage of how well the movie did, right?
Basically, I think it's in their contract that they get like a certain percentage, and then like the royalties of if it's
Oh man, I mean,
syndicated.
she's
and
still making
so-
money from Halloween, even if she
Probably.
hadn't done the
Well-
2017 one.
Or
She
the
would still
Activia
be
commercials.
making money from Halloween.
I don't know.
Right.
Sometimes I think you get these new actors get like shit.
I was gonna say
contracts.
because if it was
Just
her
like a flat
first,
fee.
if
Yeah.
it was her first movie,
Yeah.
she might have got gypped out of that on
I
the
wonder.
contract.
Yeah, so
But she got exposure, and that led to more jobs.
they
Right.
spent $300,000 on the entire production.
Yes.
Incredible. Wow.
I mean, she must have got like $5,000.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Crazy.
But you mentioned exposure, and ironically, she was the only one not exposed in this movie.
True.
A lot of boobies.
Lots of perky boobies.
Not a lot. Not enough.
Well, there was a lot, but I was not satisfied with the amount. I guess we
Ew.
should say.
Gross.
All right.
Well, no,
well,
I mean, come
before
on.
we get to the boobies, let's
Yep.
let's take the audience one step at a time.
Let's open this from the top.
Let's open this motherfucker cracks open in 1963.
Yep.
And guys, I was furious.
I was so upset.
when the scene cracked open.
Okay.
I
Me
was
and Ariel
like-
were literally screaming, "What the fuck is this?" That seemed like, and we kind of came to a conclusion while we were watching it, because we were like, "Why is that even necessary?" It seemed like it was so phoned in.
You mean the part with him as a child?
The very beginning is it starts. It's all POV.
Yep.
Okay.
Of a little kid, and
Well, but you don't know that yet.
Sure.
That's
Just
true.
POV
You
of
don't-
something.
Of
Right.
something, and you see
entering the
these two
fucking house
teenagers-
because the door is
The
wide.
back door is
Yeah.
wide
Fuck
open.
open.
Wide open.
Yep,
Yeah,
of course.
But before that, it's the POV is peering through a window, watching two teenagers hook up, and then
Yes,
the
it's
camera
Halloween
kinda goes
night.
around. He grabs a big ass knife and then goes upstairs to after the boyfriend fucks her in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's the quickest.
Yep.
And then he's walking down the stairs, buttoning up his shirt, going, "Yeah, all right," and then he leaves.
Yeah, I'll call you.
Okay, that's a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's leaving,
And then the girl immediately turned out every single light except for the one
except for
in her
the one
room.
in her room where she leaves the door wide open so her little baby
Topless.
brother can see her smoking boobs.
Yeah.
Brushing
Those are
her
some.
hair.
Just underwear.
Nice
on.
Yeah, I brushed
Yeah.
my hair
after sex.
sex.
Yeah. Can't have that bedhead.
Yeah.
No.
I'm definitely not leaving the house anymore tonight. So let me brush my hair.
Yeah.
Naked.
Yeah. So he comes into the room and she goes, Michael! And then, so the point of view, he starts
Wait, he
stabbing.
picked up the clown mask off the ground.
That's right,
That's
yeah.
important.
Why?
It's
The
important.
It is important.
The boyfriend tried to scare her. He goes, "Oh, is somebody here?" And then when he turns back around, he has the clown mask on. So then they go upstairs, and then it's then
He
laying in the
drops
doorway.
mask. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he picks up the mask, and now the POV gets a mask perspective.
Right. Two eye holes.
So then he
It's
walks.
not annoying at all.
Yeah. So then he walks up and he starts stabbing the
Yes.
girl.
And the way
then-
she reacts.
Then then the
Turns.
POV even looks away.
Yeah.
To see the knife.
Yeah,
To,
to
like,
just
Yeah.
see his hand.
I want you to know I'm stabbing this person.
Imagine that in
I want to
reality.
remember. I'm looking at the
Stabbing
knife.
somebody, not looking at them.
I need
Yeah.
this in my memory. Yeah.
It was the dumbest intro.
I was like,
pissed.
oh man, this does not bode well for this
Now,
film.
No.
our theory was, as the movie progressed, because we were like, there's all this exposition from this doctor character.
Yeah.
Why was that necessary? It seemed like a studio note.
Like it just got tacked on
It
afterwards.
seemed like they were like,
Yeah.
why is he fucked up, though? Like, we need to get and see how
we
he
still
became
don't really
this
get that
character.
explanation though. It's just like a
Nope.
little kid who's a murderer.
But the
His
vibe
first
of that
murder.
and the execution of that was so much worse than the
It's,
rest
it
of the
was
movie.
different. It just seemed like it was
know what I'm
made in
saying?
post.
You know,
and then also the other thing about that scene is that like when the parents come home,
Yes.
they see their child, outside with a bloody knife.
Bloody knife.
Not worried about it.
No, they're
Nope.
just looking
Mike!
at him.
And then they all
Michael!
freeze, and then the camera
It
backs
pans
away
out.
for at least 20 minutes.
Yes. 20 full entire minutes.
It was just keeps going, and it's like, okay, when is it gonna switch?
They're not worried about their, I don't know, other child.
Michael.
They look like
Pause,
they're
pause,
used to this.
pause.
And
They're
it's
like-
supposed to be a big reveal that it's a child.
Right.
Yeah.
Like as that's panning away,
Yes.
you're supposed to go.
But I could tell it was short.
"Oh."
Well, yeah, because it looked like those little like joke hands that you put on your fingertip when he went to grab the knife. It was like a tiny little baby arm.
Yeah.
And then
It was a baby doll
I
arm.
was like, that's a weird arm for Mike Myers,
Right.
Because I'm going into it knowing what Mike Myers is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then to find out the reveal is that it's not only just a little kid, but her brother
Yeah.
who was watching them.
And
Okay.
is
Near
very,
fornicate on the couch.
very conservative and doesn't approve of her choices.
That's
what
right.
all of these like
That's the
slasher
message.
films. They're
Right.
they're like conservative killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
They're like,
kill the-
you have to be married first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Like,
right.
okay.
And we kind of like it was. I think a big part of the fun of this kind of movie is we were trying to like get into Mike Myers' head, me and you, while we were watching it. Like, why is he behaving this way? And I think we came to some good conclusions. Like,
Yeah, there's some.
I'm excited
there's
to hear
some-
that.
Yeah, there's some
Like-
messages there.
but even more than that, like he's not you because you think he's kind of like stupid. Like, there's a scene where he can't operate a closet door.
Yeah.
Right.
But what I've drawn from all of these things was he's not trying to operate the closet.
That's
door.
not his
He's
goal.
trying to scare them.
Yes. He's trying to
He
be
wants-
freaky.
He wants these people because the people he chooses to kill are people who throw caution to the wind and aren't
Scared.
behaving. They're the most. Well, ooh, whatever. I'm just gonna get wasted. I'm gonna go fuck this guy in this weird house, and they're not scared.
Yeah, but
So
why-
Mike Myers?
I'm going to joke about including
Mike
a
Myers
child
is
into our
mentally
threesome.
ill.
Yes!
Yes.
I'm so glad I'm not alone in that.
Yes,
I rewound.
Okay, we'll get to that one.
Yes,
We'll
sorry.
for sure get to that.
but Mike Myers is scared.
But why is he
He's a
after
scared,
JLC though?
Fucked up little because they weren't scared of going to his house.
Right.
Okay.
They went to his house and they
Okay.
were throwing caution to the wind.
Yeah.
And they were not. So he, I think, is a scared person. He's
Yes.
mentally ill, obviously. And I think
Only a
Maybe,
little bit.
maybe a little.
and he's scared and he's trying to punish people who aren't.
Yeah.
He wants them. So he does. So
It's
all of
like
the
that
tactics that
thing-
he's doing isn't just like for the sake of the movie. I think it's for the sake of him.
I think you're right, and I think it's like that
Mm-hmm.
thing where if you are hurting inside and you are infantile, you want to make everyone else
Yeah,
miserable.
you want everybody to
Yeah.
feel what you feel.
Right.
But like, did it happen over time, or did he just like snap? Because they didn't seem to be like, "Hey, our kid's weird." He just like murdered in cold blood.
I think maybe what we saw in the beginning was his first exposure to someone not being cautious enough.
Interesting.
So he was like, what the fuck? And it's
Do you
my
think?
sister.
Do you think he like scoped that guy out first and saw he didn't have a condom, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is it."
She needs to be behaving.
That's right.
She's
Differently.
naughty.
That's right. Yeah. So
I don't know.
I think
It's
that's
such a
cool,
weird-
I
yeah.
think that's. It's not. I'm
It adds
reaching.
more depth to his
It adds a lot
character
of depth.
instead of just like a fool who is just like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into this. I can't get into the door. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm
'cause-
like, we just let you drive a car. You can open a door.
just like he's so stiff, flailing
Yeah.
and everything.
Now that so I'm reaching a lot, but I think that that's an interesting part. Like this movie, you can change the lens a little bit.
Yes,
and it
that makes
more
it a
interesting.
little bit better.
All right, so after
However-
the 1963, we cut to.
An even worse scene
Yeah.
I can't even remember what
The
it
where
was.
car,
they're driving
the driving out
to
to
the
the.
With the
mental
nurse?
health
Oh
institute.
my fucking
Okay,
God.
so my
Yeah.
my anger continued.
Yes.
to this
I'm just gonna say right now, mine never stopped. So keep going.
All right. I was really, really upset about the. How would you even the cinematography of this?
Yeah.
The darkness.
It was trash.
It was
I
garbage.
was literally like, why even bother showing me the fucking bottom right corner of my screen with a headlight showing a turn of a road?
Here's
Yeah.
the thing: was the car wearing a mask?
Oh fuck!
That's what I got from it. You were only seeing out of the eye hole of the
POV
mask.
of the.
Thank you.
All right, and
Yeah,
so when
it was awful.
you're getting some backstory during this time. For some reason, the nurse is I don't know what the fuck. The nurse is driving, whatever.
Chain
Yeah.
smoking.
Then there's a the doctor, the psychologist, which is it was hard for me to glean from this, but I guess later you find out this is Michael's psychologist.
Right, his
And
personal.
They are moving him to a different facility.
Yeah.
So they are driving to this psychological institute, whatever, a loony bin.
Yeah.
And then there are loonies just playing outside in the rain.
Outside
Yeah.
the rain, just standing there looking crazy.
And the lady goes,
In their
"Do
fucking
they
gross
often
white
just let their
dresses."
people run wild?" And he goes, "Oh, pull over to that gate right now."
yeah.
That was the
She
only
doesn't-
scary
she doesn't-
scene, I
She
will
didn't
say.
want to, and he was like, "Do it." And she was like,
do it.
"Shouldn't we just go up there, like, to the building?" And he's like, "No."
No, take the back way where you have to get out and go through this gate.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Oh, God.
Well, he got out. So she parked about a quarter mile away from this gate, and it is pouring rain. So he goes, "I'm gonna go open the gate." So he like sprints over to the thing.
Meanwhile,
Somebody jumps on the back of the car, and she
Somebody.
goes, "What in the heck?"
Let me
So
roll the
she
window
rolls the
down.
window
Rolls the fucking window down.
and this hand goes, "Let me touch your face."
The hand comes in and massages her scalp,
Yeah.
and she's screeching.
Yeah.
She's worried for some reason. It seems nice to
Yeah.
I would think, but yeah, like it's obviously very
Yeah,
scary.
you welcome that.
Oh,
Always.
how nice!
Oh, thank you. Oh, he goes back from the gate already. Wow.
Can you be careful on
So
top of the car?
Then she starts freaking out. She rolls the window up, and what this guy does is palms
it.
a window
Yeah.
so hard that it breaks.
Now
Because it's made out of candy.
it is basically no. You know what it looks like is like whenever you have like a snowstorm and it gets really cold with the ice, right?
Yeah.
Over
yeah.
your window, and you roll the window down, but there's still
Yes,
a sheet of ice
that's
there.
exactly what it
That's
was.
what it looked like.
Yeah.
And he just went open hand, pop on the window, and
Just a
it
quick
shattered.
tap. Yep.
And I
Shattered.
don't know.
But his
Because-
hand didn't even continue to go in at
Nope.
that point. It just
It stopped.
froze
It was
Yeah.
a nice
right at the
little. It was a
barrier.
nice little.
Yeah.
That's right.
Quiet.
It was a lot like that, actually. Yeah. And then what happened to her?
She gets like ejected from the car. I think
No,
eventually
yeah, she gets thrown out of the car and then
because she
the car gets
survives.
stolen.
Yeah, he
she
escapes.
tries to run away and somehow trips.
And that shit was
Over nothing.
Michael.
And that was
We
Michael
find
Myers.
out later it was Michael Myers.
That was Michael. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
And
dun.
so, and like Sean was with us, our friend from the last episode, and he was watching it with us and gave us a little bit of backstory. And he said that this is a grown man who has the mentality of like what, a 6-year-old or a 9-year-old, however old he was when he murdered his sister.
He was 6, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
Seemed a little
been
old
in
for
a
that,
loony bin the entire time.
Yes.
Yeah.
but he can operate a vehicle.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
He
Yeah.
can drive,
good
but he
job.
can't run. He doesn't know how to run.
He does not know
I
how to
don't
run.
think I don't think it's that.
But
I
that's
think,
what they were saying in the
I
beginning
think
part.
it's fucking scarier.
It's
to
a more
walk.
meticulous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that movie It Follows? How it just kind of
Yes.
slowly walks.
Yes.
Yeah, I
It's
can see
Fucking
that.
terrifying.
Yeah. But, if he did sprint,
That's what I'm saying.
With that
fucking scary,
face,
too.
That's
just
what I
the
thought.
William
That's
Shatner face
scarier.
Yeah, that's scarier.
A guy sprinting at you full speed
with a
Yeah.
knife,
with a knife,
Yeah.
and a full blue suit, like a body suit,
like a
canvas.
Slipknot suit.
like a Slipknot suit.
Yeah,
He's in Slipknot.
he's the original.
He's probably the reason
he's Corey
Slipknot
Taylor.
does that.
I push my finger.
Yes. Wait. Now he sold the car. He can somehow drive, and then the doctor is like,
Shit.
"Dang it!"
Not again.
Yeah. So then waits way too long, and then calls somebody and says, "I'm telling you, he's coming to your place."
Yeah.
Because
I
apparently,
think it's the sheriff.
he's
No. It's not the sheriff that he works with, but it's like the police, right?
was he on like the payphone? Was that
I
where
don't remember the payphone.
Yeah.
he pulled over and then was on like a payphone calling the town saying, "Hey,
Okay.
you better watch out."
Because he's done
He's on
this
his way.
before, right?
He coming back.
I feel like it's almost implied that he's escaped before and gone to his hometown.
No, I don't know that. I don't know that.
I don't know because what I got
How did he
was
know then?
his original because he
Because
knows his
he's been
mind.
visiting him, and he goes, "Oh,
Okay.
this is true evil incarnate."
So he's heard Michael speak and stuff
Yeah,
because he doesn't.
I
in
guess
this whole
maybe
movie.
maybe he doesn't even say he's ever.
Interesting.
I think I heard him a couple times go,
Interesting.
"Ow!" when they were like hitting him and stuff.
You definitely hear him go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Was this before or after Darth Vader?
Before.
Because I know
No,
78?
78? I don't
77
know.
was the first Star Wars movie, but was that when you were introduced to Darth Vader?
What was the fourth? It was episode 4. So
That was that was the first one.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure.
Right.
Shit, we're gonna get so much hate. I don't know.
I love Star Wars.
We might see him in that.
I think
Maybe.
Gary.
Gary's over here jumping around like a freaking.
Look,
Oh.
look that shit up, Gary.
Fucking bit. Get. Fucking.
Oh my god! All right,
Ryan,
guys.
stop hitting Gary.
All right, Gary's
Gary.
definitely not bleeding. Oh. All right, that's Gary's sister Lorna that just
Lorna.
snuck
What a
in
name.
as well.
Gary and Lorna.
Step
So
away
she's-
from the mic. If
No,
you-
let's hear it. Let's hear it. This is good content. Step in on it.
All right, sorry. So,
All right, so I got sexy naked murder scene. That's one of my notes. I think
don't-
that was the sister.
okay.
There was multiple.
There was
multiple. Yes.
Because I can't wait to get to another specific one that I would like
Yeah.
to
Okay.
talk about.
So,
we got-
meanwhile,
we got Michael. He's got a car, and he has killed the tow truck guy.
yeah. So
Right.
That's where he
you
gets
only
his
see
jumper
that in
from.
hindsight, but yeah, apparently. Now I'm confused a little bit because he stole the car and it's like an official car, and he
Yes.
has that for the whole movie.
Yes.
Why did he pull over a tow
To
truck
get
guy?
the clothes, I would think.
Yeah.
Because he was
Only.
wearing his gown.
Great.
Yeah.
So
Where
he,
did the mask come from?
No, because
No,
he
he goes-
robbed
he
the
robs the
store and-
store.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got this.
but he got several masks according to the
He
police.
did, and knives.
He
and
wasn't
rope.
sure which one to use, and
And
he
rope.
settled on the William Shatner one.
Yeah. Why was there a William Shatner Halloween mask?
I don't know. I like it though.
That is weird in this universe because I mean I guess Star Trek was happening then, but
What else is weird? The fact that he stopped at that payphone and stumbled on the tow truck with the
And-
dead driver,
no.
and because he just like I thought
Oh,
hung
yes.
up the phone.
Okay, you're talking about the doctor.
And he goes,
I thought
"Wait
you were
a
talking about
second."
the. I thought you were talking about Michael, and I was like, no, he didn't stumble. He wasn't dead.
Yes. He did not stumble on that
Yeah.
one. That was a full on murder.
He didn't. He found the tow truck, and he knows who
didn't-
Michael Myers is fucked up, and he found the matches. but
He
didn't-
found the gown.
Yeah, but he
But he
didn't
didn't see
find
the
the
driver.
corpse.
Yeah, he didn't see the
Right.
driver. Great job.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he's not a
This
detective,
doctor,
guys.
I feel like need to vent about him.
He sucks.
I
Fire
He
him.
is
hate
the
this guy.
worst.
Why?
Yeah.
Why does this doctor have jurisdiction over the fucking police?
Why is he telling
Yeah.
the cops what to do?
Why is this a universe where doctors are detectives?
Yeah.
He has
Detective
a-
doctor.
He has a detective jacket.
Doctor detective.
And he's just
Doctor
like
detective.
the most nosy fuck. Like he's walking around the neighborhood streets like he knows what the fuck is up.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yeah, because there was. This is much later, but he stood outside of Mike Myers' house
For hours.
for hours on end, and then just
Scaring-
turns
scaring
around.
children.
He
Scare-
just turns around
That drove me
and
crazy.
sees the car that he came to the
Yeah.
place in.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So yeah,
Great detective work.
Yeah.
that drove me fucking.
Yeah, definitely
crazy,
tell the
too.
police what to
And
do
he's
after
like,
that
by
detective work.
God, he's here. I'm like, no shit. All right.
So anyway, so the weird, I think, and actually a cool part of this movie is, so when you get to after the stupid
Both
Looney Bin
intro
scene,
scenes, terrible.
yeah, but then we get to meet Jamie Lee Curtis,
Yes.
and she's like in
A
school
schoolgirl.
and stuff, or she's walking to school, and she sees this kid that she's going to babysit, and they this kid, by the way, acts way
Young?
too young for
Yeah.
how old he is, right?
I also thought it was Seth Green.
Yeah. Well,
Is it?
I did. I had to Google it. It's not.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was like, does the timeline match up?
I don't know. Seth Green
But
was
so
born.
they're walking by and they see this old abandoned house in their neighborhood, which seems to be notorious
Well,
because
she
of
has
the
to
events
drop.
from 1963.
She has to drop off a key.
Right. The dad is like a real estate agent, I'm pretty sure, and gave her the
They're
key
gonna
to
sell
drop
it.
off to. So she
Okay.
put it under the floor
I didn't
mat.
even catch any of that.
Yes, they're gonna try to sell it.
But so they go to knock on the door. He's inside.
But like, it's haunted. You know, this little kid is like, this is haunted. He's scared.
It's
of
not
it.
like notorious.
Yeah.
Like
In
spooky
15
house.
years, you get a little bit of a lore.
Of course.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Broken windows
And
and,
it
all
just
that
so
stuff.
happens they're inside. So by them throwing caution to the wind, they set themselves onto a path
Michael's like, okay.
for self-destruction.
And he does single them out specifically.
Because
yeah.
of
He's
this
he's
effect.
going for them. Yeah.
That's the only reason.
And
which
we
is
also learn a little
scary.
bit about Jamie Lee Curtis being a huge fucking dork.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
a dirk.
She's not like the other girls. I feel like we say that every single episode. There's always a
She
character
likes
like
the
that.
pumpkin spice.
But so and then she's in school and she's smart. Obviously, she's answering well. But while she's in class, she kind of peers out the window, and
What does she
motherfucker
see?
is just standing there.
Which
This
I can
is-
see, like,
This
it
is
follows.
scary, dude. This is
Dude,
terrifying.
The stalker element to this, and the fact that it's in broad daylight.
Yeah. He doesn't
It
care.
was spooky.
So cool.
Nobody's
I
like,
thought.
yo, what's that guy standing
Yeah,
there
how
with the
come
mask?
nobody drive? Because other
Well,
people have
okay,
to
and
see him.
it is Halloween day, so maybe he got some leniency.
Yeah.
That's a good
An
point.
adult?
I mean, I dress
Man.
up. Well,
It was allowed back then. Like nowadays,
guess,
you
yeah,
can't
now
wear
you
a
can't.
mask. But
Because of this movie, I think.
they're like,
Yeah.
hey,
Like,
I've
yo,
seen
that's a
Halloween.
killer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah,
The
That's a
broad-
killer.
Before anything really even happens, you spend, I don't know, a good half of the movie in broad daylight
Yes.
in one day.
Yes.
And
It's just like-
just stalking.
yeah. He sees her at the school, and then he sees a little boy at the school.
Who comes out of the school with a pumpkin.
Let's talk about the pumpkins.
Why are all the pumpkins so wide?
Why are they so?
So they're easier to
why are
land
they
on and
so-
smash.
I see.
Why are they so white?
Yeah, they're pale.
They're very
too.
pale.
And
they're not orange.
that one bedroom had a lit jack-o'-lantern.
In the bedroom, by the bed.
Yeah.
These people were like, "We love Halloween so much, we're gonna carve a jack-o'-lantern and put it on our bedside."
Ariel.
Throwing caution.
Don't have to be this fucking close to the mic.
That have to make a point. That's what I do to
A
make.
lit jack-o'-lantern on the edge of the bed.
I really dislike-
we apologize.
I dislike that you did that.
On the behalf of Say Hello to Mellow Film, we apologize for the
Ryan's
horrible,
fired.
atrocious
Yeah,
sounds.
Gary
that
will
you've
fix
heard.
it in post. Don't worry about it.
It'll probably be.
You have to. You should actively turn it way down,
Ah,
so
yes.
it's peaking, but it's super quiet.
Right. It'll be like
I should have said
You know
that.
what I mean?
Not. We cut this out. Gary.
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 All right, but
Yeah,
so,
he lands on the
When
pumpkin.
did Ray Romano get here?
Gary.
So he lands on the pumpkin, and then because he gets bullied by those boys, those other boys.
Aww.
Yeah,
And those,
Pussy.
by the way,
that shit was bullshit. That scene was retardo.
by the way, those kids. Why are these 13, 14-year-old kids? Is what they look like, acting like they're six.
You like Halloween?
He's gonna get you. He's gonna get
The
you.
boogeyman.
By the way.
Come on.
Doubt.
So then he falls and crushes his pumpkin that he's later supposed to carve with
Yeah.
JLC.
It's okay. She has an
You know what's
extra.
funny?
She does have an extra.
I get a good point of trivia. Billy Corrigan. That was his favorite scene of any movie.
Took me like
was a
2
good one.
entire seconds.
Just thought about it. Too.
Yo, I cannot wait to be explained that later. So Michael's there. He just walks up and goes like, "Oh, look."
No
there's
one's
that
worried
kid.
about it. Yeah, he's
Let
just
me go
creeping.
back to the, and then he goes back into the car, knowingly, very well,
And then
drives this car
slowly,
literally within 10 feet of this kid, and the kid's just like, "Nah, damn."
not to victim blame, but like What an idiot.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah,
aware of your
Be aware.
surroundings. Did
That's
no
the
kids get
lesson of this
kidnapped?
movie.
No kids got kidnapped back then, I guess. This
Not
was the
yet.
first ever
Yeah, I guess
stalking. Jesus.
I would imagine. This kicked it off.
I mean,
He's just walking by, kicking rocks, just like, oh, my dang freaking pumpkin just got smashed. And there's a
golly gee.
murderer
Yeah.
in a car 10 feet from you. He just like stops next to him. The kid's like, dang it. my
So here we
frickin-"
get some nice, good point of view. We get some good
Charlie
POV
Brown,
again.
sad music.
He's watching him, and you're seeing it from the driver's perspective, and then he speeds off, which is kind of neat. That I feel like you always get it from Michael's point of view, and it adds
Right.
something to the movie.
Yes.
I like it. Me gusta.
I really was into the whole stalking part of it. I was like, that's,
Were ya?
I was like, that's good.
We
stuff.
all knew that about you.
Okay, what I really liked was the scene where Jamie Lee Curtis was walking with her friends. Idiots, by the way. God.
God, her friends
Reprehensible.
suck.
Annie
They're
was
all idiots.
the worst fucking human being.
She deserved death.
Yeah.
That
Well,
she got
we
it.
don't know that she died yet.
She died.
She's dead.
But when Jamie Lee Curtis sees him by the bushes,
Yes.
Yeah, the broad daylight of it is
Yes.
the scary
Yeah.
part of it.
Yes,
That's
I agree.
the spooky, like, I
So-
was like, whoa.
I mean, this part of the movie is really just setting that up. It's
Yeah.
like adding some spook, and
And honestly, to me,
he's stalking them for a
maybe
very
the
long
best part.
time.
Maybe the best part of the movie.
I mean, were we supposed to think that possibly she was the only one seeing him?
We went back and forth on that because there's a point where
She
she
looks
goes
out the
upstairs
window.
and she looks out the window and she sees him by the clothesline.
Right.
But then she doesn't look away.
Not at all.
She stares, sees, and then it shows her again, and she's still staring, and he's gone the next time.
Right.
Yeah,
Which,
so
by the
like
way,
we look away, but she didn't.
Michael
Yeah.
Myers is a human.
Yep.
How is he doing this? Like this, that's what I'm saying
He's
about
very fast.
the apparition thing. Like I expect that from like a spirit that you like somebody sees that they're not
Right.
that nobody else sees. But he's like a human, so
He's very fast
He sees like
and-
he's just standing still,
he's
looking
like,
up there at the window, and then as soon as the camera looks away, he goes, and he
yeah,
just like bolts off.
Even in the bushes scene, he like ran down that alley. It
He
must
would have
been
had to.
super quick.
Yeah,
We
I
know
think
that
that's
he
the only
doesn't
time he
like to
runs.
run.
I want a movie of just the times he's not seen.
The off times.
So like you see him outside of the bush from his perspective.
Yeah.
He's like-
Right? And then you see him like slowly
He's
go
like
back behind the
Mose.
bush and then he just takes off. Like Moe's next to the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Enjoy
And-
your thing.
But he's just like that's the only time he's really booking it is when he's like not seen.
Because he's trying to
Yeah.
be creepy.
I think he's
supposed to be
actually
creepy.
supposed to be trying to be a comedian. I think this is supposed to be funny.
I don't
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. He's like definitely laughing when he runs away like look at these idiots.
One
no,
thing that
I
was
think that might
interesting.
be true. I think
That's-
he is kind of like, oh, this is gonna really get him.
He's kooky.
He's like a weird autistic guy.
He is creepy, like
Yeah,
because
and you do
he-
hear his breathing. By the way,
Yes,
the breathing
that
you
is
do hear
also
behind
scary.
the mask is so scary because you put one of those masks on for 10 seconds
and it's the worst.
Yeah.
and you're in hell.
This
Yeah.
was the origin of ASMR.
That's true.
Someone was like, "Hey, I kind of like this. I'm gonna go to sleep to it."
But that's how I know that this movie is not realistic. Because 10 seconds in one of those masks, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, but he
all
has
sweaty
a
in there,
mental
it's all
illness.
humid.
I'm choking right now thinking about it. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
it's hell.
yeah.
That's why he's so angry.
Also, this Michael Myers was like so thin and small, like seemed like a small man.
Yeah.
Because I think of the Rob Zombie one.
Yeah, I've seen the remakes, and one thing
He's
they make a
huge.
point of to make him
He's like
humongous,
scary big,
which is cool.
like a thug.
Okay. Yes.
like a thug.
Like the
Like a-
guys who killed Batman's parents
dang.
Yeah.
dog.
over a watch. Anyway,
Yes.
Those fucking giant dudes that killed Batman's parents.
actually,
giant
in
dudes.
every single rendition I've seen, they're just like these sniveling little like
Worms.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, whatever.
And moving on. And then.
Shut up, Gary!
All right. Sorry. Where were we at? Gary just confused all of us.
Yeah.
So she started to see him and everything, but then we're transitioning into nighttime when the babysitting begins.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Before that,
Yes.
there were children trick or treating at 4 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
She's coming home from school, going to her house, and there's kids trick or treating, and she goes, "Oh."
She's weird because she talks to herself like too much.
Yeah.
And it also seemed like there was like themes going on. Like she said stuff like it seemed like there were these lines were supposed to be pointed. Like when she's in class, she's answering some weird philosophical question, and I was
To
like,
show she's smart.
And I was like, it's supposed to do that, but I thought
She's
it was
book
also
smart.
supposed to be like some thematic message or something. But I
Totally.
don't think it is. I don't think it
No.
has anything to do. And she also goes something. What does she say? She goes like suspicion or
I don't remember this line.
Superstition. Something about that.
Oh, yeah.
superstition.
Oh yeah, he said he doesn't believe in superstitions.
Yeah. And I
What
was
is the
like,
And
superstition?
who is she talking about?
Yeah, we don't know any of those kids.
She's
that
talking about
line-
herself. She's talking about herself. But I
Oh.
don't understand because I don't know what the superstition is.
Yeah, and it seems like that line is so pointed that it's supposed to represent something deeper that the movie's trying to
I think
explain.
we're
that
just
Michael
missing-
Myers is always listening, so it doesn't matter if you're talking.
Michael
You're never
Myers
alone.
is the spirit of Halloween.
Hey, is that why they call this?
Because
Dun, dun, dun,
it's
dun, dun,
it's all
dun,
about being. You need to. It's all about fear.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what Halloween's about.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of like lore behind that actually, where it's like you're supposed to revere the demons
That's-
that like
and
rule the
people
world
who
secretly and
don't,
shit.
Who don't
Die.
give respect to fear,
They die.
and he is.
But they get laid
he's
first.
the judge. He's the executioner.
Not any.
You know what I'm saying?
That's I feel like how he has been represented in the later renditions of this.
I think they've actually gone. I think this was the best version, but I haven't seen a lot. I've seen
I haven't seen the new one.
I've seen sprinkles of
Yeah.
like Halloween movies.
Just a little few
Just
little
I've seen a
sprinkles.
little bit here, a little bit there. You know what I mean? But I think that this is
I
the
know what
best
you mean.
representation of what I'm trying to say.
No, I agree.
But I also am willing to accept that I'm just reaching. I'm filling in blanks. The movie doesn't tell me.
There
any
is
of this.
no narration, which I
Right.
kind of like because
Yeah.
it opens it up for interpretation. Like, how are
Right.
you receiving this movie?
They're not pointing you in a certain direction.
It's
you
nice.
Have to
I
take,
feel like movies now are like you're spoon fed,
yeah.
you know, and it's kind of like barfy. You know what I mean?
Agree. Yeah. So then now we're splitting up into our little individual babysitting homes.
Right.
Which are across the street.
They're
It's
3
a
houses
small
down.
town, and like the parents all know each other. They're probably all swinging, and like
Swanging.
the like babysitters have like a babysitters club. It's like
They
that
should make a
kind of
movie out of that.
hey,
That's an idea.
what an
There you
idea!
go. Yeah.
Maybe a book series.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of good ideas, I got one. Let's take a break.
Take a break.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right, we'll be right back.
toodles.
Yep.
Just an actual idiot. I thought that we were starting.
Sorry, what was that, Ariel?
I said all the boys think I'm too smart. This is a
Well, yes.
perfect example of Jamie Lee Curtis's character.
Yeah.
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 Perfect.
She gets
Example.
so much shit for not going to this fucking dance or having a date or whatever.
Yeah. Her friends suck. They're all whores.
All they care about is fucking.
They really do.
It's like next
Although
level.
I don't know.
They're so concerned with fucking that she gives up her babysitting job and pawns it off on Jamie Lee Curtis to go get laid.
Hold up. We got to go back.
All right.
Annie.
Let's talk about her friends. It's Annie and
Lori.
Laurie.
Sure.
Lori.
Lori.
No, Lori is Jamie Lee Curtis.
There's Lori. Yes.
Okay,
Who's
yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis? There's
not Lindsay.
Linda.
No, yeah, Linda.
There's also a
Oh, yeah.
Lindsay.
Lindsay's the little girl that's being
Yes.
babysat.
It's freaky because
Friday.
It is.
Freaky Friday.
My
For that
sister's
as well.
name is
Oh.
My aunt, both of my aunts. I have two aunts named.
They listen. Hi.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, big shout out to them by the way. Yeah.
Shout out.
So it was super freaky. I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Am I
Yes.
gonna realize
There's
that?"
also
Yes, I did notice that.
Oh, I'm Michael Myers. Holy fuck!
although nobody knows our last name, so
Well, they
I don't
do
know
now.
why that's relevant.
Oh, maybe I'll bleep that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bleep
I got hot when you said that for some reason.
No problem. We will bleep that.
There's also a Wick family.
Whoa. That's going to be another bleep right there. Damn.
You want to give our address
God.
too?
No.
7722 Reseda Boulevard.
555. Reseda?
That's an inside joke. That's an inside
Sorry.
Oh, god damn it.
That was a very windy joke.
Deliver us.
So Annie is babysitting, okay, and
Linda is the other one
Lindsay
with the curly hair.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Linda's just fucking around with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait. Yes. Annie's the one with the curly hair then?
Yeah.
The-
Okay,
like
okay,
the-
okay.
Yeah.
She looks
She's
like a
the
dog.
worst. She's
Linda
the
is
worst one.
Linda
Absolutely.
is the blonde.
Yeah.
Linda is the one who fucks on the bed that has the jack-o'-lantern on the bedside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, with her 45-year-old boyfriend.
I don't know. 40.
He's not, but he definitely like that
That
look.
dude was a honk.
He was a high schooler, but that look with the mullet and the glasses, like that's what 45-year-olds look like now.
Right. But he also
Yeah.
weighed
5 pounds.
about 5 pounds, enough to be held in the air by a knife that was stabbed all the way through
A
his
kitchen
body.
knife. A
Yeah.
kitchen knife.
Yeah, so I was like measuring it a little bit, and it would at best the very tip.
Yeah, like
of
a
it.
thumbtack.
Like a thumbtack's worth is inside, and it's
Also,
suspending
my
this dude's whole
favorite.
body.
I think my favorite part of that is that he dies immediately.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
Just
being
instantly
strangled.
dead.
Well, and the other thing is the stranglings are, I'm going to say it,
Half-assed?
hilarious. Because they're choking, they're going, they fully can make noise.
So over dramatic.
Okay, that supports my theory.
Yes.
He's not
He's not-
trying.
that's
He's
not his-
strangled them.
Fricking with them.
He's
Yes.
trying to get them terrified.
See, here's the thing. I just thought that was bad acting.
Because
Exactly.
why on earth would he
Dang.
come up from the back seat and be like, "This is the best angle in which to strangle someone" when he has a knife?
Because honestly, it looked,
No,
it was a struggle
he
for
was like-
sure.
Yeah.
All right, Ariel.
that's what he was doing to
That's-
her neck.
Gary was fixing
Yeah,
the
but
cord
she's
on the mic.
full on. She full on can be. She's screaming still. She's breathing. She's
Yep.
whining. She's doing all kinds of stuff.
She's
because
awful.
He's trying. He wants her to be scared. That's my theory.
She is
Okay.
annoying because she
But-
got what, like cookie dough
Butter.
Oh
butter?
They
my
said it later.
God.
She spilled I want to say 2 ounces of butter on her pants, and she strips
have
completely
To
naked.
talk about in the kitchen, she strips naked.
Yep.
Then she goes outside and she
With the shirt
to the
on.
laundry room.
Yeah.
She takes this kid's Lindsay's dad's shirt. By the way, Lindsay don't give a fuck.
Lindsay's
No.
not listening.
Lindsay don't give a fuck.
Lindsay, can you come get your dog? It's barking. It doesn't
She's
like
just-
me.
it's-
The dog's doing nothing.
There's so many shots
the
of
worst
Lindsay just
babysitter.
watching TV, just
Yeah.
being like,
She's like,
She's a
this
shut the
bitch.
fuck up.
Yeah.
And so she spills some butter on her shirt or whatever, or on her clothes. She gets completely naked,
100%
goes outside
naked.
to do laundry.
in 5 seconds.
Yeah. She goes outside to do laundry, and then all of these doors somehow can lock from the outside.
Yeah.
No, I think that they jammed them because I remember when Jamie Lee Curtis was stuck inside, I was like, "What is this shit? Like, there's no way."
Yeah, you're right.
It was
There
a
was a
rape.
rake in front of the door.
So I think that
But
that's what
not
he does.
this scenario.
Well,
not
you don't
this
see
room.
it, but I mean, you have to. Imagine.
But the door just floated shut, and then she tried to get out,
And she couldn't.
And when Lindsay
Okay.
came back to get her, you
She
could see that
unlocked.
she unlocked it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But so she's like, let me climb out the window.
Well, this klutz.
Yep.
what happened?
It was a Pornhub
Yep,
video,
it was.
right?
That's what I really thought about.
I was like, oh, stepsis stuck under the bed.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what it was like. And it was even like her panties and shit. Like she was like,
Her
no,
Hanes.
Lindsay, help me.
I kind of
Seemed
thought
like
she
a
got butter
hentai.
on those.
Seemed like a
Yeah.
hentai.
Yeah, hentai.
Michael Myers was there, but he didn't do anything
Right.
then.
No.
He was just being spooky.
Here's the
wasn't
thing.
ready.
Does he want to harm kids, though? Because I
Unclear.
feel like he disappeared when the kid showed up, and then he was no longer a part of
it's
that.
unclear because towards the end, when Jamie Lee Curtis keeps sending them out of the room and then getting them again, he's still impending. Like he's
Yeah.
approaching them still. So I think he
Right.
would, but it's not about that.
I guess.
Well, we know he will strangle a fucking dog.
No,
Oh
but
my-
that's
I
because
think-
that's what he eats.
What?
Yeah. There was. Okay,
I'm sorry.
In his house, when the doctor and the cop go in, they find a dead dog in the house. And he goes, "It's still warm." That means that he. You guys, hold on. Did we watch
He
the right
said
movie?
something like, "Oh, he must have been hungry."
Yeah.
I remember that scene, but I didn't catch that
Yeah,
at
I have
all.
on my
didn't.
notes.
I don't
he
remember that
eats
either.
dogs.
Hey.
Oh
Hey,
my!
hold on.
that's-
He eat dogs?
Hold on. He's
That's
just
a-
half Korean. That's all.
That is a different level of weird.
Yeah. So that was like set the precedent of. So he couldn't have gone. He went into a store to steal a mask, knives, and rope, but he couldn't go into a grocery store to steal food.
Or just get some Halloween candy because you know they had Halloween candy.
Well, that's of course not filling, but German Shepherd is a lot more filling than Halloween candy.
I'm sorry, I'm dying right now because
Yeah.
Casey had a fly land on her upper lip, and it was there for a long time.
He was trying to
She was
shoo it away.
swatting it.
I have to say, a weird side note: we have like really slow flying flies here. It's weird.
It's almost
we're in
like
the
they're on
South.
molasses.
It's like strange. It's like they're too heavy to fly or something, because I feel like if they get in the house and we try to swat them, like they rest on my hand as I swat them away. They don't.
And they're fat too.
Yeah.
Like you literally, they're like,
I think
Yeah.
juicy is the
Contact.
word that I would use.
Yeah.
They're really
Strange.
juicy.
Yes.
oh.
They're
So
well
she had
fed.
one of these juicy flies.
Ew.
She was trying to
Somehow
not laugh
worse.
on Mike. Oh, it was really
So
funny.
Anyway,
that was fun.
Sorry, derailed it.
so he.
I'm sorry, what?
I
You're
didn't. I
naked.
totally missed that he ate dogs.
Yes, he ate a dog.
So okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I wonder if you guys saw like a director's cut or something.
No, because
straight
I
up didn't-
remember him saying that. I just didn't catch the words.
Okay,
must have
right,
been.
yeah,
The audio
I
was
missed it too.
terrible
Yes,
in
it
this
was.
movie. So.
You know, I kind of fetishize audio from this era of horror movies because it like Carrie I saw on TV one time when I was a kid, and the scariest part of that movie was the audio.
You mean because it peaks and stuff?
Yeah, because when the girl screams, it is so bad to hear because it peaks. Instead, now like they scream all the way in this perfect clarity.
Yeah.
But
That
like
production
the
value.
shittiness of like the
Oh my God, this scared me.
see
This episode will tank.
Ryan, you're
For
gonna cause
sure.
someone to have a car accident.
see that just proves my point though.
Please turn that down, Gary.
Well, yeah, Scary is messing with the knobs over there. Yes, and then like when a pot breaks, like a planter with a pot in it or something, it's like clearly
the loudest thing that's ever happened.
yes,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I froze because I heard a siren. I thought I was gonna get arrested.
It's okay, I got you.
So like you hear it crash, but it's like definitely put in afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the sound was not there.
Yeah.
Where they
It
just
was
like
a sound
bump,
effects record.
they bump something and it goes,
Yeah.
and it sounds awful.
Yeah.
Because it's just a recording that they did in like a Foley studio. You know, it's not like within the parameters of the world.
Right.
Which happens frequently. There's a lot of that extra. stuff in here.
So, but basically, we get to a point where, like, throughout the night, the girls are calling each other and calling boys, and like they're trying to figure out a way to get with boys. And so, Annie, right?
Annie.
Yes. Okay. Annie is like, I'm gonna bring Lindsay over to Jamie Lee Curtis's babysitting house or whatever, where she's watching that little boy, and she's gonna have her watch both of them so she can go off with the guy or whatever.
Correct.
So, fun fact. When I saw the two kids together, they had Howard the Duck comics.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that
Interesting.
was cool.
Callback.
And then they
We all remember that one.
watch TV, and Jamie Lee Curtis is just there.
By the way,
Existing.
they like she gets like freaked out and she's like, I'm gonna bring my kid across the street. Why didn't they do that to begin with?
Absolutely, that
The
would be way
kids
better.
can be playing with each other, and I get to hang out with my friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
and get paid.
What the fuck?
I don't know, idiot.
Because she can't get laid by JLC, dude. That's the whole point, dude. This whole
could.
story is about the dick. Okay.
It seems
So
like it.
They had to have that guy. He's like, I can't come over. I can't come over. My parents are gone though, so I'm not grounded anymore. So you have to come pick me up. And she's like, I'm not wearing any clothing. And he's like, yeah, that's right. You're
But
not.
she never does, because then she gets into her car where she meets her demise.
Hold on. She walks out to the car. The door handle's locked, and she goes, no keys. First of all, grab the keys first.
Yeah. What
Then
are
she
you
goes
doing?
back into the house, goes through her bag, grabs the keys, then walks out to the car, just pulls the handle. She doesn't even try to unlock it.
I did not. Are you serious?
Yes. That's
That-
wow.
That's really
And then
interesting.
so-
I missed that.
Yeah,
That's a
she has the
turd.
keys in her hand, but she opens the handle
That's
without
a really good
unlocking.
detail, because obviously Michael's in the car.
Right. So then she gets in, and the window is all
shit.
fogged. So she's like, "What is this?"
Oh, because I
and
remember
then
that.
that's when he like pops up from the back seat,
Yeah.
Pretty
like
scary.
a turtle head out. Whoop.
Yeah.
And then he just like reaches his arm over and grabs her, and she's struggling and crossing her eyes and
So-
doing all the very overly
Boyfriend
acted
dies
things.
first, right? He gets pinned up against the wall.
Nope.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the
That's the
That's
next
the
one.
other
the
girl.
next- oh yeah. Okay. So she's the first murder.
Yes.
Okay. She's the first. Well, besides the dog.
Besides the dog.
and the tow truck guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But you don't
And
see
the
that
other
murder
dog.
happen. But you don't see that any of those murders
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
This is the first one you see happen. The worst acting.
Oh my God, she.
Awful.
Atrocious.
Awful.
Yes. She's.
She is going.
She is a stone cold atrocity.
Yes.
She's clearly never died before.
That
The eyes
the
crossing
crossing eyes, dude. I can't.
took me to a place that I didn't know existed.
She was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"That's my type.
Oh
That's
my
my
God.
type."
It was like she got kicked It was like she was
Like
like
a man that got kicked in the balls.
like a Three Stooges gag where he got
Yes.
hit in the dick.
That doesn't happen, right? When you're getting strangled.
What?
There's no what mechanism would cause that? Your eyes to cross. Like
Yeah,
that doesn't.
Nothing.
There's
Your eyes might pop out,
pop out of your head,
but they wouldn't cross to each other.
because your main objective is to breathe.
Right, which she was doing
She was
quite
doing.
clearly.
She was
Yeah.
doing, yeah.
Which has brought it back to, I thought that's why there was bad acting in that, but you
Yeah.
do have a point where he might have just been, because he has the knife.
He
Yeah.
does.
And then after, I
And he
don't
stabs
know,
her.
10 seconds of her, like
Yeah.
a donkey, then he just reaches back and goes, and then she goes, oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
and her
Because
eyes
he
cross
wanted her
again.
to be scared before she
Right.
died.
Which I would,
Pretty.
I would
pretty
be,
scary,
you
yeah.
know, that's
Yeah.
good
That's
point.
scary. That's very scary.
So then that's when I believe another stuff with Jamie Lee Curtis goes down, and then the van pulls up out front with the other couple,
Oh my
Yep.
God. Okay.
where they are already drinking. They pull up, right? And so he
Very responsible.
I forget what
they
he did
pull
to
up
her.
to Lindsay's house.
Right.
And it
Okay.
took us
Why?
a moment.
Why? Are they related? Is that her brother or anything?
They were going to Annie.
to just meet up with.
They just
I
wanted to
believe
hang
so.
out 'cause
I
were
think
like,
they
no,
wanted
no
a place
parents
they
are there.
fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
No parents
okay.
are there.
That's
There might
fine.
be
That's
that.
fine. That's fine.
Why not use the back of this
That's
van?
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That obviously has shag carpeting in it.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because there was no underage puss.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's
That was
talk
gross.
They
about it.
make that comment. What is it exactly they say?
He says, "So how?" He's like, "How about we go in there and I tear your clothes off, and then you
Right.
can tear my clothes off." And she goes, "What about Lindsay? And then we'll tear her clothes off or something."
He
This is
she
a-
does not
this
mention
is-
Lindsay. He on his own volition says, because she goes like, "Hey, you can tear my clothes off," and he's like, "Yeah, I can tear your clothes off."
And she
And
said,
then you
"No,
can
this
tear-
blouse is expensive, you idiot."
You freaking idiot! Which I was one of my favorite lines. I did
yeah,
laugh
yeah.
Good.
out loud.
Yes.
And then he says, "Hey, you could tear my clothes off, and then we could tear Lindsay's clothes off."
And I was like,
I
whoa,
thought,
whoa, whoa.
I thought Lindsay was the name of their friend.
Yes,
the
yes, me
babysitter.
too. It took
And then
a
we,
second.
I think we both were like, "Wait."
Casey goes, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "What?" Then we had to rewind it, and I'm like waiting for them to say the names, and then
It didn't register with me
No.
until they were like, Lindsay's not even here. And then I was like, Lindsay's the kid.
Jesus, yeah. So either that was a misdirection for the viewer, or
Well, I mean, it's the
That was a
70s.
sick
This
joke.
was like probably appropriate
No.
at the time.
What the fuck?
think
I
that
don't
was
know.
appropriate.
Fuck you, 1978.
Or maybe Annie lied.
1978, basically the Dark Ages.
Maybe Annie lied and told them that Lindsay was 18 plus.
I'm
I don't
babysitting
know.
this
Yeah.
18-year-old. I myself am only 16.
Right. So they go in, doors unlocked, of course.
Why lock your door?
Yeah. And then they're like, "Hey, we're here." Nobody's answering, right? So they get on the couch, right? Starts to get a little
Starts
hot and
getting-
heavy.
Yeah. Spicy.
And then they call JLC. Like, "Hey, what you doing?"
Did he eat her
Knitting.
ass?
Knitting.
Being your basic virgin.
Absolutely. Yeah, so she's knitting, right? And then so they decide basically that they're going to go upstairs
Yes, take this shit upstairs.
and fool around.
In the parents' bed, seemingly, I would think. Okay.
I would hope.
Gross.
Because
Well,
if she had a room that big, that little girl,
well, it's
It's
questionable.
funny, the girl
because
has the biggest bed in the movie.
It's questionable because the bed is tiny. There's a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
but I think
It could be the little kid's room.
Annie's body was on the girl's bed at the end. I don't think that was the same bed that they
Okay.
fornicated in. So there was a different feel of a smaller room with a bed in it.
Okay.
With the tombstone and everything. I don't
Yeah,
wanna
no,
go too far
I
ahead.
remember that. I'm trying to remember if I saw the jack-o'-lantern because that's the telling thing.
Well, you would also be able to tell that the sheets were brown in the parents' room and the sheets were white in the
sure,
kids'
I
room.
definitely
so-
paid attention to that.
Yeah. But weirdest way to have sex.
What a graphic fucking scene. They
I
were
just-
like,
That was another one of those, like, they like stopped because the phone was ringing and they didn't want to answer it because he didn't want to get in trouble, right? So he goes, "Let me just take the phone off the hook," right? So he takes the phone off the hook. And then he rolls over
A quick-
onto her knee and they have sex for 10 seconds and finishes.
He's not moving though.
Well, right. Well, she's doing all the work.
She is moaning though.
Yeah.
She
They're
even
just
says
dry
like
humping.
Straight into
she's
it.
like terrific job, I think, or something.
Ew.
Enough to
Good job, old
immediately
chap.
start smoking a cigarette
Yeah.
afterwards.
and,
Go
like,
get me a
seriously.
beer.
Yeah.
She says, "Do you want a beer?" And then he goes, "Yeah, I guess." And she's like, "Well, are you gonna get me a beer?" And like she wanted him to go.
Yeah.
What?
What
and he's like,
what a hilarious.
She's sassy.
"Don't get dressed." And then he,
Yeah.
sneaks out of the bed.
And then this is where he
This
gets
is where he gets-
strangled,
Dun, 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 dun.
stabbed, pinned to the wall.
Yeah.
And Michael does this like
Cocks his
dog-like
head, yeah.
look at him, like he cocks his head while he's just standing there. There's a lot of images like that throughout the movie that I'm like, I want that as a shirt.
Yeah, there's a good
Yeah.
ones. Mhm.
You know what I mean?
like a good, nice
Like
little
that
Scarface shirt.
That looked good. That was a good looking shot.
It's funny too. It's like kind of funny.
Yeah.
What is he doing? He's
Yeah, he's
studying
like,
him.
He's taking
like-
a mental
I think
image.
he's just kind of like, okay,
Actually-
that was a little quick.
Actually, he might have been like, how? Because he immediately after that goes and he fools the girl.
yeah, so he's like, I'm going to.
So he's like, what should I get off him so that she thinks I'm him?
Yeah.
So maybe he was just thinking, of like, what
Glasses.
should I? Yeah,
Glasses.
just
That was his
On
thing.
the outside
Just.
of my sheet ghost
Yeah.
thing.
that'll get her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
well,
did.
he actually might have just been like, did he really just die that easily from the knife?
Yeah.
That's probably what he was
Or
thinking.
maybe he was going, see, that's the beauty of this. The fact that he is an expressionless man and he never speaks, you get to
Yep.
project all of your own shit onto him.
Yeah.
And I will.
Your whole line, like this, all of this own
And I will
reasoning.
continue
and
to.
stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So he goes
There's
up.
no like, and then Michael thought.
Right. He then thought. Like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
just
exactly. Michael, man.
And then Michael went upstairs. And what he saw in the bedroom.
Why do I
on
know
so
so much
sweet.
about Michael Scone?
Because I'm Michael.
Because
Scott.
I am Michael.
Beep, beep, beep. So then he pushes the door open slowly. She's going, "What are you doing over there, silly pants?" And
I
he's just
heard
standing.
nothing downstairs.
He's just
There
standing.
were no thumps at all. No weird noises that
Wasn't
must have tipped
screaming
me off
or-
to someone else being in the house.
A body falling from when he pulled the thumbtack out of him, And then, so he stands in the doorway with the glasses on. He's just not moving.
Where's
And
my beer?
How long? How long would you lay there before getting spooked? But
12 seconds.
I would.
that's way too long.
I would take the sheet
think?
off of my tits like she did.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too long.
That's way too long.
4
because,
seconds.
Like if you don't make a motion towards me
Yeah.
in about 6 seconds,
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
something's wrong, and you might not be the guy that I just.
Especially if you're wearing a sheet. So
Yeah.
I can't see that you are clearly the person I
Right.
think you are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm also, I
Spooky.
tend to be paranoid about stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just me or anybody else.
Everybody
I
else.
would hope so.
Trust
Yeah.
me.
Lock
I think
your doors.
especially nowadays, yeah. So then he obviously murders her.
Wait. Okay.
But
He
hold on.
strangles her with a phone cord.
But not before she calls Jimmy Lee Curtis.
That's right.
Yeah.
She calls JLC.
Yes.
And I'm not going to stop calling her that.
That's fine.
It's
No
just
one's worried
shorter.
about it.
I thought I felt something just from anybody. So she calls her on the horn, and then as soon as she picks up, she gets the phone cord around her.
And she said, and she's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jimmy's not worried
JLC
about it.
Who's that?
She goes, first I get your famous, what did she say?
Chewing.
It was
Chewing.
Yeah, and then and now I get your famous moaning,
Squealing.
So
squealing.
why?
Good job on that line, babe.
Why
Whatever, you get the same difference.
Why did no one else get an orgasmic death?
Wait. What does that mean? Your famous squealing? Does she call people while she's fucking other people all the time?
Maybe.
No,
Or it
because
could be faked.
the
So
first
she just calls people up and
To freak, to freak.
You know,
She's the weirdest.
honestly, funny prank.
it's hilarious.
If I called you while you were at work or something, it was just like,
Yeah.
What would your thought be? What
Like-
would your thought be, Jesse?
Help. I think would be the first thing that comes to
hey,
mind.
you, oh, you're doing
That would be
that
like,
thing again.
Ryan's being strangled.
Little would
No.
you know. Yeah.
I literally would be like, oh, it was a dick dial. Damn it. Fuck. But because earlier, Annie. was it
Earlier.
Annie?
Orally.
Earlier, didn't Annie call her after she saw him outside?
Oh.
Sorry. After she saw.
Gary,
Gary.
what the fuck
I know.
was
He
that?
came over and tried to punch me in the face. After she saw Halloween Man in between the sheets outside,
In between.
she got a phone call, and it was like Annie, and it was just like,
Ew. Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
I remember
then she hung up, and then the phone rang again, and then she's like, "Who is this?" She's like, "It's Annie." It's like, "It's Annie?" She's like, "Obviously."
I was chewing.
She
I
was
had a
chewing.
mouthful.
Yeah. So
that's
that
where
was
it's a
part of the
callback,
noise.
yeah.
Okay.
And then so the other girl calls, and she's getting strangled, going,
right there.
"Thank you. Hey, what's up, Ryan's mom?" So
For sure.
Big shout out.
big shout out. So, but she's very orgasmically dying. So then she goes like, "Hey, first I heard, you're munching. Now I hear your orgasm sounds." Sorry, I don't want to say it.
Now I hear
loud.
you crunching.
Yeah, crunching in your munch.
Let's fast forward a little bit. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get past this.
So she dead.
Why did we talk about this scene for 35 minutes?
Next death.
But okay,
my
so
notes.
Jamie Lee Curtis is not really concerned. It seems like
Yeah, it's like
until
now.
she gets the kids to bed, and then she's like a little curious, and she walks over to that house.
Yeah, so now all her friends are dead, and she goes over to this house, and it's like a haunted house.
Yeah.
The way he set this up, which again supports my theory.
Right.
But because for example, he sets the dude's body in the closet set up
Upside down.
to swing.
Oh yeah,
when triggered by some
that's
Home
the
Alone
thing.
type
That's the
mechanisms.
thing. Michael Myers is like very theatrical.
Yeah.
He's
a genius.
drama queen.
Yes,
drama
genius.
queen.
he's a theater guy.
Yes.
He steals
He's a
a
theater kid.
He
Tombstone.
is.
he steals a tombstone.
His sister's tombstone.
That is next
puts
level.
it in the bed.
above Annie.
He cleans it.
It's completely
It's
not dirty.
So clean.
No dirt on that.
Yeah. Well, we don't
That's
want the
a
bed to
funny.
get dirty.
That would be a funny behind the scenes, like him just like scrubbing this tombstone. Yeah.
yeah. So then there's that. Then he swings out from the thing, and then
Because
JLC
Jamie Lee Curtis went in the house.
Right. She
Right.
goes up to the room that there was a light at the top of the stairs. There was a bedroom with the light. You could see the light from the inside. So she opens it. There's dead Annie. Sorry. R.I.P. And then she goes and backs up into a corner that has
Oh
a dark next to
my
her.
fuck.
And we go, we're going to see him. And then the body swings down. Okay, it's the boyfriend. So she goes, oh no! So then she runs across to another corner. And then
Opens
the
a
door
cabinet.
opens in
Yeah.
the cabinet, and there's her other dead friend with boobs out.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh
So
no!
that door did open by presumably by itself. Like,
Yeah.
So he's got strings
He's
and
pulling the
pulleys
strings.
and
Yes,
stuff going on.
yes,
Yeah.
because he's a theater child.
Insane.
That's right.
Insane.
And so, or he had it all rigged with like tripwire and stuff.
And he's really good
Macaulay
with
Culkin.
timing because he must have
Super
known
good.
that he had time to set all that up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh, also the little kid though, he saw her he saw Michael Myers carrying the body.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
That was scary too because he was just slowly didn't care if anybody saw him.
Yeah, that's the thing too. He's not worried about anything.
No.
What's gonna happen?
Because he's the scariest witch in the forest.
He's the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Boogeyman.
Boo!
So then you see her back up into her corner. Here comes Mike Myers' face.
That
Guys,
that
spooky.
scared me
Guys,
so
sneaks
bad.
into the corner.
That was so good.
I think because it was set up properly because you thought it was going to happen 3 times before that.
Yeah.
When the other people just kept appearing.
Yeah.
And then it finally happens.
Yeah.
And that's
And you
really
see him.
like when you finally get a good look at the mask too. The whole time you haven't really seen
Right.
the
It's true.
mask.
It's always
true.
in the shadows in the corner.
But it also
It's not really direct.
scary. It's like you go like, ooh, that was done well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're not ever like scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's where the
Like I just was
cinematography like does I think do a really good job. That's why it feels like a disconnect from the earlier scenes in this movie.
right.
Because like this is filmed well, I feel like, and artistically.
Yeah.
And then the driving scene was
like
so
you see,
not.
you see him in like like in the window in the background. And
Okay,
stuff,
and when like the girls go up earlier to see her dad, who's the cop, and they're like talking to him, and he's telling them about the robbery,
car in the background.
and then he just drives by in the background.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You also
Awesome.
because you see him pull off.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yes.
sitting there and they drive away and then he pulls off.
and he's not in focus. The shot is not.
but
framed
you can
around
see
him
that
at
he's
all.
wearing the mask. You can
Right.
see it's him.
Yeah.
And I will also say, why? If you were they were smoking weed.
I mean, that
I'm pretty
shit
sure.
is potent. Like
Right?
your
Yeah.
cop dad.
Why did you stop?
Yeah.
She goes, oh no, hide it. There's my dad. And then the next shot is just
Also,
driving straight at him.
And Jamie Lee Curtis rolls the window down. They were smoking pot in the car with the windows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want the
So
smell to
you
get
can't
out.
clear the air
No.
that quickly.
No.
Oh, he smelled it. No, he didn't.
Worst cop in America.
He obviously didn't.
He didn't.
Okay, so
Yep.
so while all this stuff is happening with the babysitting and the haunted house that he basically created that Jamie Lee Curtis finds,
Spooky.
what's happening with the doctor?
I don't know, and I don't give
He's
a fuck.
scaring children away from the Meyer house.
That's right. Yeah.
He's fucking
hiding
weird.
behind a
Because
bush.
those pussy kids from earlier.
They act like he's the B story of all of this.
Yeah.
And his role is supposed to be providing exposition.
Yes.
But it doesn't work. I don't give a fuck about anything he
Every
says.
time I see his stupid face, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
He's clearly like a Russian guy who's trying to hide his Russian accent and be American.
He's a
Doesn't sound
Russian
right.
actor trying to do a shitty American accent.
Yeah.
He sucks.
He has
Yeah.
a gun.
He's
God,
like,
he sucks.
welcome
And this
to
fucking
this.
stupid cop, he is so dumb. He thinks his orders are given from a doctor.
They're upstairs in
A
her bedroom.
psychologist.
And then something, I don't know what it was, randomly just comes and breaks the window next to him and he pulls a gun out.
Yeah.
An
Immediately.
unregistered gun.
Yeah.
No, he had papers. He showed him.
Oh, okay.
He said,
Oh, okay.
I got permits for this. And he like he pulls like the thing out.
has the
shit. Okay,
to show
okay.
the
I
cop.
missed
He's like,
that.
I have the papers. Okay. So don't freak out.
Officer.
Officer of the law.
Sheriff,
And then
presumably?
so he's like, so I think he's coming back here tonight. So
I'm going to chill here.
why don't you go away? I'll just hang out here until
I'll
he
keep
comes
watch.
back.
And
Yeah,
he's
I'll
trying
be
to...
doing my job.
Because
Yes.
it's Halloween, so kids are like, being mischievous and shit.
That's right.
Obviously, I remember being a kid and being like, that's the scary house of the neighborhood. Let's go inside. So he's trying to prevent kids from doing that.
Right.
So I guess that's why. And then there's that moment where he turns around.
After hours.
After being there for
Hours.
hours. He's
Because
sitting in
they
the same
started
spot.
trick-or-treating at 4 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
Now it's at least 9.
That was so fucking irritating.
Yeah. He does a 180 and goes, oh, that's the car.
And then he just runs down the road. I guess he's
here.
going
He's
to
in your town.
find the police officer, I guess. I don't know why he's running, but he's running. Because, okay, then
point.
Jamie Lee Curtis, she gets stabbed. He stabs her
He cuts
In
her
the leg.
arm.
Cut the sleeve.
or
He
something.
cuts her sleeve and she falls down the flight of
The
stairs.
leg is from
Okay,
the fall.
she hurts her leg. Okay. Because she's limping. She gets out of the house and she's trying to get help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the neighbors don't give a fuck.
They
they
turn
peek out
the
the
light
straight
on
up turn
and
the
then they
porch
turn
light
it off.
Yeah.
That is so scary. Did they think that she's just fooling?
They're just like,
Probably.
eh, fuck this
Here's the
kid.
thing, though.
Yeah.
Why would you
If-
take a chance?
If everyone knows
Who
how
she
she
is,
is,
yeah.
why would they be like, oh, she's obviously pulling a prank. This virgin, studying every time that she has a chance.
Yeah.
Never
She's pulling
out
a
with
prank.
boys.
She's screaming help at the top of her lungs in the
Yeah.
middle of the night, banging on our door.
Yeah.
It also looks like
Let's
the
just leave it go.
trick-or-treating has pretty much stopped at this
I'm
point.
pretty sure. Because the kid's in a costume and he's at home being babysat.
That's
Right.
one of the weirdest parts of the movie.
It's like, yeah. Well, and he
Maybe
also
he
looks
wasn't
out.
allowed or something.
The kid looked out at one point and there was kids trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Why was he not so? Whatever.
And even the kid takes his sweet ass time fucking going to the door.
That's my
To
favorite
let her
part.
in, yeah.
Oh, I'm
and I'm
so
like,
tired.
why are
Yeah.
you
He goes-
going back, leading him back to the house with the children? Worst babysitter
Yeah,
of the
keep
year.
running down the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone will let you in.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And
Run
you've
to the
obviously got a
cops.
speed advantage on this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not concerned.
She tried one house and was like, nah.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck.
Going back to the
Bring
children.
the killer, to the children.
But okay, so how did he beat her into the house?
because he can teleport.
Because I'm not,
Because he can teleport.
I
is
think
the
what
best.
happened was because the house that he injured her in was really close to the house she was babysitting in.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the window
But-
was open.
But
In the
she
house.
was on the front porch. Okay, so you walk into the front
She-
porch
at the
and the
neighbor's
living
house.
room when she goes back to the house that she was originally babysitting in.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in the front door. The living room is to the left immediately when you walk in.
Okay.
Okay. So she's standing on the porch, looking back, watching him walk across
Oh,
the
you're
street.
right.
Kid comes down, lets her in. They close the door behind her, and then immediately they walk into the living room, and the window is
She
open with the
notices
shade.
it.
open.
Yeah.
Because he only runs when they're not looking.
Yeah.
I guess it's like
He's
like it
weirdly
follows.
quick.
He's strangely quick.
He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
really weirdly quick.
very
You know what else he
aerodynamic.
is? Strangely delicate.
He
Strange and unusual.
He's fragile.
He gets stabbed with the
Knitting needle.
a knitting needle, and at one point he gets
Takes
poked
him
with
down.
a clothes hanger,
Yeah.
favorite part.
She finds the skinniest
and it
sharp
just beats
objects.
him
Yes.
both times.
Both
For-
times. He's
Yeah.
dead both times.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
Yeah.
Right.
He always gets back
He's
up.
just passed out. He doesn't like the
She
scene of blood.
barely
Yeah.
sticks the sewing needle into his neck. Gary!
Damn it.
What the fuck? Are you drunk?
I'm so pissed off, dude. This is a bad choice.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah. So hold on. He, professional killer, reaches over the couch
Professional
and
killer.
completely misses her, and she goes backhanded with the knitting needle and
because
stabs him
she
in the
knows
neck.
kung fu.
Yeah.
She does. Jamie Lee Curtis knows.
And
kung
he's
fu.
like, ah! And
He goes,
just falls down. Yeah.
Did
and he's
he
done.
make a noise?
I actually
He
don't.
went.
Yeah.
I used
a
to do.
grunt.
It was
That's
more of a
funny.
grunt.
Okay.
Like when you get stabbed in the neck, and it's like.
Right.
You know?
How that feels.
Yeah, I know how that feels. But then he drops his knife.
And she's just like, she peers over the couch and she's like, okay, he's laying on his back. I'm good. I'm safe.
I'm
goes,
done.
"That's
yeah.
it.
I'm
That
safe now."
one tiny prick
This nightmare is over.
killed that prick.
That's what I was like I'm screaming, cut his head off. Like, don't stop. Like,
Don't
Yeah.
stop.
sit there until his head is a puddle.
Yep.
Then you can walk away.
Yes.
I mean, he did just try to kill you. I think you can play the self-defense card.
Yeah.
true.
Jesus.
And so she goes upstairs and goes, "Kids, let me in."
Gather round me and hug me, child.
So then they all kneel. Okay.
That's normal.
In the doorway.
normal behavior.
And then she goes, "Don't worry, I killed the boogeyman."
as he's ascending.
And he's coming up the stairs, and they're still nonplussed.
Yeah.
And then the kid goes, "Ah, the boogeyman!"
Because he's not 9.
Right.
But that was it when, and then she tries to evade him. There's a point where she gets into the kitchen. She's trying to leave out the kitchen door. I don't know if it's in this house or if that was the other house.
First house with
That
the
was the
rake.
first house.
Yes.
But that bit where he kind of breaks through the door, he's moving with a bit of momentum there, and it
That's
was
true.
way
it
fucking
was
scary.
It was creepy.
That like him being furious is way scarier.
Yeah. Because the closet
than
scene.
the slow oaf
Right.
that he like is.
Yeah.
Because the
that's
closet
not as
scene
good.
is she sends the kids to a different area.
Yeah.
She goes into
Unclear.
the bedroom with no escape, opens the doors to the back to like the porch that hangs out over, and then locks herself inside of the closet in the room. Now, my first thought was she trying to maybe
Make him think that.
distract him and think that she went out the thing so that he goes. He never even thought of that as an option. He went straight to the closet door.
Yeah.
But also, if she wasn't screaming, he may not have known
Yeah.
that she was in
When he
there.
hits the door, she goes, "Oh!" It's like,
Yeah.
like she's in here now for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the scene where we're talking about him trying to get into the closet clumsily.
Yes.
he's not.
And he's going,
He's
just
shaking it, and yeah, he's
he's
being
blubbering around.
Behind his mask,
He's
he
being
is
horrifying.
smirking.
Yeah.
He's
and going
laughing.
like, oh, she's so scared.
Yo, this is gonna be hilarious.
Didn't I make a note where
Yes.
he was a conservative incel?
Hey, there you go.
Because he gets mad at people for being sexy.
Yeah.
Women
no, it's not because they're
specifically.
It's not because they're being sexy. It's because they're not scared.
Right, but it's
They should
usually
be scared
also
of-
when they're being sexy.
STDs.
Yeah, they make your coochie itch.
Is Mike Myers an STD?
Unclear.
No, he's the prescription for it.
That's right.
Dang.
Okay.
Boom.
Point proven.
All right, so then at some point in the struggle, we see Michael's face
She stabs him in the eye, which then renders him useless again
for a
With
second.
a clothes hanger.
with a clothes hanger that she
She
undoes.
undoes at the
Real
clothes.
quick.
Stabs him in the eye. He falls out again.
Dead.
Drops the knife in the closet.
Yeah.
So she then picks up the knife
Oh yeah, that's right. She stabs him.
and
Right,
walks out.
Right.
Yeah. She stabs him and he goes. "Arr!" You do
Yep.
hear him for sure go. "Ugh,"
Okay, yeah.
on that part.
Yeah.
And then he falls down. He's dead again.
And then she just goes, "Oh, I've done it again."
Kids.
And then throws the
Children.
knife. Throws the knife down
Right next
on
to
the
him.
floor next to the murderer.
Yeah.
Great.
Right. So now we think,
it's
thank
getting
God
irritating.
it's over.
Now it gets irritating because
Yes.
it's like, okay, you don't need
Yeah.
to do the same thing twice.
Enough is enough.
So in the background, you see him sit straight up,
Which
and
is a
he's
cool
going,
scene, though. I
It
do
looks
like.
great, but it just happened.
Right.
Like the same thing just happened.
But you didn't see him get
Yeah.
up the first time.
You're right.
How smart is she?
Not.
Bad instincts.
And she.
But
It's
so
funny
does-
because she announces how smart she is earlier. In the
You know,
movie.
people who do that typically.
Yep.
All right, so
That's when you see his face because
Okay.
she struggles with him again,
Which
pulls
was
off his mask.
So bizarre.
oh my god, it was jarring.
I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck? Hold on. You see his face
I was
in
like,
the.
who is this curly-haired fuck?
I was
Yeah.
anticipating him to be like hot looking, and he wasn't.
No, I thought he was kind of cute.
He was like a mongoloid.
Something's wrong with you, I think.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yep. And that's when you see his face, and then he like panics to put the mask back on.
Yeah.
He can't do any killing unless the mask is on.
Of course, it's
he has
it's
to.
in the rules.
I think that's why he put the mask on when he was a child and then stabbed his sister.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
That's
I
like
feel
his power.
Yeah, it's like anonymity, even though she obviously knew who it was.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Michael, stop.
Mike.
Fucking Mike
Mikey.
from the Back to the Future episode.
Yeah, I remember.
What?
That's fucking Mike.
That's fucking Mike, dude. Anyway, so yeah, that was like a callback to weeks ago. And then so the doctor
He finally shows up.
Finally
thank God.
shows up.
Right, with the gun.
with the gun empties a full clip.
Blast.
Bam, 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 bam. Get out of
He
here,
got shot
bitch.
6 times, I think. I
Yep.
counted.
Yeah.
That's normally in a
Pulled out his
revolver.
Uzi.
Yeah.
He pulled out his
He
Uzi
falls out the window.
Yeah.
on his back,
Yes.
flat.
And he gone.
And,
And
then
then-
it shows a different scene for a split second, and then back to that scene, and he's gone.
He
Yep.
still has his teleportation
My-
ability.
Because he
Yeah.
goes, yep, well, that was the idiot. I shot him out of the window. And then he walks over to the door and goes,
Oh,
oh no.
But doesn't even like react. It's just kind of like
he like
Yeah.
knows this is par for the course. He like
Yeah.
knows his brain.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so he's superhuman and super
And
quick.
that's where the movie
And then everybody
ends.
dies.
yeah.
No, wait.
Almost
I'm
everybody.
sorry.
He's still out there.
But then,
He's
so
still-
he is, because then it goes back and shows all these scenes, and he's just breathing.
That was actually, yeah, that was cool because it just showed like random shots of this
Of the town.
environments that you've been in before that are like darkly, weirdly lit. Like he could be in any of the corners, and all you hear is
Yeah. And that shit did really
What?
set the
that
mood.
was a cool way for it to end.
Yes.
Yeah.
It set the
And then
mood,
it
and
cuts
like
to the credits.
it also let it be open for him to still be alive and
Yeah.
Yeah.
out there.
Halloween 2.
Exactly.
I thought that was cool ending, but
Yeah.
that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, we went through like shot by shot, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
now we're
Yeah.
at the best part. where
Yes.
We give our reviews, and then we decide where this movie ends up. I will start.
Yes.
All right.
Given my, like I said, the thing that I think is cool about this movie is the lack of hand holding. So on the surface, you very easily could say this movie sucks. But given a little bit of mental gymnastics,
On
you
some
can
fancy
make
financial
it
footwork.
really, really interesting, I think. So, although in recapping it, there's a lot of fucking stupid shit in this movie too.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of torn now. I think if I had to give this movie a score, I would give it a 7.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
7 dead horny girls.
Oh, nice.
That's a lot of girls.
Yeah, 7 dead horny girls.
Yeah.
All right.
Out of 10.
So, okay. I just simply can't ignore the atrocities of the first 2 scenes. So they take some points away from what this movie would have been sans those scenes. But I do think that the more I watched it, the more I kind of got why it was so famous of a Halloween movie and why it had so much notoriety. So it changed a little bit. It got a little bit better. And I think that we're at a solid 6.2 famous squeals.
I honestly, as I was saying,
squeals.
I think I have to retract my.
Oh, shit.
This is
Never before
unprecedented.
happened.
I think honestly, a 6.4 is what I actually feel more comfortable with.
Oh,
Man,
On
you
the
guys
same
going
wavelength,
points. Okay.
yeah.
approved.
Yeah, I think a 6.4 is what I feel more comfortable
Okay.
with. 7
Yeah.
seems too high.
So 6.4 for Ryan, 6.2 for Ariel. Jesse.
Okay.
Hold on. What?
I said famous squeals.
Famous
okay.
squeals. That's right. Yeah. So I could not. I mean, I didn't think about the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in your brain that you all discussed here today. So I came into this podcast recording really just
Gonna rip it to shreds.
anti. I was very against it. If I could be honest, I would say, given the atrocious acting and I thought some of the scenes were not good. I'm gonna go with a. This is the nervousest part of it because I feel the judging so far.
Oh yeah.
And then the judging after I say that it was, for me, a 4 phones off the hook.
Okay.
For me.
All right.
So
Casey?
go ahead.
I didn't like this movie at all.
Okay. Interesting.
I didn't think that it was scary enough for me. I thought the acting was really bad. And so I'm doing 2 Red Rabbit match
2.
stick
Wow.
packs.
We have never had
That's-
something that low.
That's almost bottoming out.
That's harsh.
That is insanity.
And I will say the scariest part of the movie that I know you physically reacted to was when she was looking back at the bush that he was hiding behind when she made it past, and she's backing up on the sidewalk, and then the cop is standing there, and she like bumps into the
Yeah.
cop because he's just like,
Yeah.
But you
Standing
also
in the
yelled
middle.
at the same time that happened.
I yelled because of you yelled. She goes, "Ah!"
Did you
and I'm
guys
like,
watch
oh.
this with the lights out?
It was daytime.
There, you didn't even like. Was there not like some shots of this movie that you were like, that looks really good?
Or like some integrity that some artistry behind you didn't really get? Okay.
No, her face right now says "fuck it."
Yeah,
I felt
I
like
see
it
it.
was kind of very like lackadaisical, maybe, I would
Wow.
say.
I got a totally different vibe.
And so did the box office.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
All right. Well, so where does this movie belong?
All right. Now, so the way we do this, so far, this is how the best method
Yes.
we have
Yes.
is
Speed round.
Speed round. All right. No time to react to
Okay.
anybody's
Sorry.
decision.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jesse.
Sorry, that was my bad.
So we all made up our minds.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And it's gonna go me, Ariel, Jesse, Casey. Okay.
Yep.
Pitt.
Musty Manor.
Pitt.
Pitt.
Nice.
Yes. And this movie goes to
To the pit.
Wait, but you had the highest
Yep.
rating.
I am
She's talking over the
I
song.
am upset.
Now I do have the highest rating, and I think that this movie deserves that score. However, in the context of must you see it,
True.
I know exactly the same amount about Michael Myers as I knew beforehand.
True.
Okay,
I
I
know-
disagree with you. I think
He
that
a murderer.
I know, yeah, his character is the same to me, but I think that this movie shaped how other movies were made in a really cool way. I think that it deserves more credit than it gets.
I agree. That's why
That's why I
it's a
think you
good
should
movie.
see it. I think that everyone should
I think if you're-
understand.
I
If you are a
get your
film
reasoning.
student, you
Yes.
should see it.
I get your reasoning.
I mean, that to me seems like
I get your reasoning.
it's
I do.
only 90 minutes.
But to me, I just feel like I already knew everything
Wow,
about this.
okay,
Like
fair,
nothing
I
new
guess.
nothing new came to me. But I do think there are some things in this movie that are very high quality, and I think it is a fun thing to watch. But I don't think you must.
my God.
I think at about, I want to say about 50 minutes in, I was like, is this almost over, please?
Wow.
That's kind of where I was at that point. It felt like I spent 4 hours watching this
Well,
movie.
guys,
Holy shit.
So
Oh boy.
I don't think any less of you, just so you know.
Wish I could say the same.
oh,
Just kidding.
Hot take.
all right, guys, that is it from us.
Yes.
Don't
Please connect with us. We have all the social media stuff, and we will, let you know what movie we're going to do next.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stay tuned on the
If you
Instagram.
have anything you want to say, say to us. You can send us an email at sayhellotomylittlefilm@gmail.com. Follow us on all the socials.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
And don't
Facebook.
forget to give us a review,
Rating, yes.
a rating and a review on your Apple Podcast app.
That's right.
Thank you.
And we at Say Hello just want to say goodbye.
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 Bye.
And
Ciao.
happy Halloween.
Boo.
Spooky.
Eat candy.